Good afternoon and welcome to Dumfries, Scotland for the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship 2014. We're here in the Ice Bowl and it will be draw 17 and we'll be looking at Group B. We take a look at the standings now. There you see Sweden and Scotland topping the table with 4 wins. Canada still looking possible of making the playoffs. You see Latvia there with the 3 defeats, and they're probably going to be out of it now. They probably won't be able to qualify for the quarterfinals. So we take a look at the lineup for Latvia. That is Dace Regza and Ansis Regza. And Team Sweden, Camilla Johansson, and it is Per Norin at skip for Sweden. So the rules of play for the mixed doubles is 1 male, 1 female, 6 stones per team, but they only actually play 5 stones. There are predetermined stones before the end gets underway. 46 minutes playing time, 8 ends maximum, and 6 ends minimum. And really the main one, as we've come down to talk about, is no takeouts until the 4th stones of each end, which really is the key to getting stones built up early on in the end. So we're about to get underway, and it's myself, Kenny Edwards, and for the first time this week I'm joined by Logan Gray.
Good afternoon, Kenny. Hope you've enjoyed your break from me since Beijing.
Yeah, the team's just being introduced to the vast crowd that's in for this draw. And there you see Latvia playing red stone, Sweden playing yellow, and it's Sweden who drew the button with their draw the shot to determine last stone. So I think Team Sweden coming into this will probably be the favourites, Logan.
Oh, absolutely. They've made a perfect start this week, Kenny. They had a tough first matchup against Canada, which they came through unscathed in the end. But Canada starting to come good now here in Group B after an important win over Scotland last night. Sweden, they're undefeated and will be looking to continue that momentum as they move through the group stage and try and qualify for the quarterfinals. Also the world silver medalists from 2 years ago in Erzurum in Turkey. Latvians, they've had a bit of mixed success so far this week. 2 wins and 3 losses. They've defeated Slovenia and Estonia, but lost out to Scotland, Canada and Kazakhstan.
No problem. Yep.
So it really is a must-win game for them if they want to have any chance of making some sort of a tie-break for the playoffs. You wouldn't have thought any more than 3 wins would really cut it this week. Sorry, 3 losses. My apologies.
No. That's it.
So
Ladies and gentlemen,
just about to get underway. It will be Latvia first to go, Sweden with last stone advantage. And looks like Latvia are going for Ansis to play first and the last stones of the end. As we see Ansis Regza for Latvia.
Yeah, and I would say it's less common to see the male players win the first and the last. And I think quite often we see the male playing the middle positions who can throw 2 takeouts instead of just 1.
Stop, Lina.
You quite often see the male player being the better takeout player, just a little bit stronger and able to throw the big weight more accurately. Well, lots of curl in that first drop.
I'm not sure I agree with you about the takeout play of the male players, Logan. I think I've certainly seen some female players that are pretty accurate at the big weight takeout.
Okay, maybe traditionally then. So, the Swedish team actually going for the same arrangement.
Yep!
First and last.
Kom igen hårt!
Rain giving a
Är det
big
bara
lead here.
draget? I så fall lämnar vi.
And actually, I was speaking earlier on to Sergio Vez of the Spanish mixed doubles team, and he was saying that it's curling a lot more today than it was yesterday. So actually curling maybe even a foot more than it was yesterday.
I would say as the ice crew here have done a fantastic job of the ice. Generally there's 5 or 6 draws on per day, and they really have got this arena, which is usually a hockey arena, and they've got it pulling in both handles, and the weight of the ice is pretty slick as well. And this one just coming into the top of the 8 foot.
This end could still go either way at the moment. Both teams keeping their stones in front of the tee line, which is very much the key in the early stones of the end in the mixed doubles format.
So this is Camilla Johansson. Just gonna look for a draw run. And that's a nice shot there. Camilla has represented Sweden a few times. European mixed, European Championships, and as we said previously, silver medalist at the World Mixed Doubles.
Stay-praak.
So Dacia regs up for Latvia, who has quite a lot of experience at an international level. Been to a few European Championships.
Yep! Yep!
Yeah, as recently as 2014 in St John's. Sorry, St John. I've been pulled up for that in the past.
Yeah, and also the European Curling Championships as well in Riga.
Eller vi ska bara dra hit, kanske söndaste.
Ja, okej.
Har du fart?
So a few stones in the 4 foot area.
Ja.
Good.
Vad hade du på mig?
They're just going to look to maybe just
Ja, vi
draw
hade
in and
där.
tap the red back maybe a couple of feet. So they are using a touch sensitive eyes on the hog technology.
En lite plus. Plus. Trycker kanske igenom.
See the green lights just
Trycker
indicating
igenom.
that it was released before the hog line. I have seen a few problems with the handles this week, but what I would say is the umpires here in Scotland have been pretty good. They've just said, right, okay, let's. I'll just walk up to the hog line and let's get the game going. So they've stopped. They've not stopped the rhythm of the game. It's been what I would say is the umpires have done a really good job here this week.
Sounds like you've got a lot more respect for officials, Kenny, than you had 10 years ago.
Credit where credit's due, I think Logan would be the phrase I would use.
Yep. Yep.
So what can Dacia do with this one?
Yep.
Does get past the guard and only picked the one,
Okay.
and things not looking good now. Sweden sitting 3.
Mer fart än förra.
Now Sweden could hit and roll into that little pocket.
normal,
It'd be
eller?
brilliant, but what they can't afford to do is just hit and roll maybe a foot.
Ja.
That would leave a nice nest for Latvia to come and sit in.
Well, the other thing they need to be wary of here is hitting on the nose, how to make a really straightforward takeout for the Latvians. So I think immediately that redstone they're playing a takeout on here and knew that was a danger for the Swedes.
Just like that.
Jättebra spel.
Exactly where you didn't want to hit it. Anywhere on the inside now.
Man kan spela normal, men man vet inte hur mycket man kan svinga på den.
Per's not too impressed with that one, I don't think.
Viņam drusku jāpieskarās. Ļauj viņam trīs. Principā te. Jādrāp. Te. Trāpīs mazāk ar ok. Nulīt būs.
Well, this will be Latvia's final stone. Sweden still got one to come. What can Ansys do? Can he get on the inside? This one's looking pretty high at the moment, Logan.
Nav, jā.
Yeah, you can hit anywhere on the inside. Oh, not even close here for Latvia. Hits on the wrong side and rolls out of the rings. And it's going to be a draw for 4 here.
Nesapratu?
Ja. Nu lär vi flytta ut
Vajadzēja mēs
lite.
lēnāk.
Well, Par and Noren just trying to work out exactly what's the best chance of making this shot. Maybe where the backing is, or maybe what path that they know. They saw his first stone over curl here earlier in the end, so they'll have to go a little bit wider. Could be some fresh ice, and at the end of the day they've only got to hit the 4 foot here. But a much harder shot in mixed doubles curling than in normal curling when you only have one sweeper, probably sweeping half of the sheet.
Ta ner den då.
Va?
Ta ner den då.
Yeah, taking a little bit more ice just to make sure he gets past.
Yeah, well, they've actually gone to the other side now. They were on the outturn side before as well. So no backing on this side, but maybe thinking it's a little bit straighter over here.
Quite a soft release there from Per. Yeah, maybe he knows what he's doing. And is this one going to pull up in time? I don't think it is.
Ja, det är bra.
So it wasn't far away though.
Yes.
But a great start for Sweden. They will pick up 3.
Det var inte så mycket broms där. Lite så lägger jag på den lite grann.
So into the second end. Sweden 3, Latvia 0.
Nu ko? Cenamies pakaļ.
Ja.
Vai.
So underway in the second end now. There are other games on in the arena, and we'll keep you up to date with the scores on them. I'll just let you know.
Bara fart!
USA taking a single
Bra
point
linje!
against Ireland.
Ja!
Scotland, a big steal of 3 against Slovenia. And Czech Republic scoring 5 against Poland in the first end.
Yeah, that was actually a steal of 5, so a big first end
Mazak!
from the Czechs.
Mazak!
That's East Regsha. Going to try and make the freeze on that Yellowstone. Turn around,
Back
just
up there.
over curling a little bit.
Spijk hem nee. Spijk hem nee. Ja, pusti bro. Ja, pusti bro.
No, it doesn't make the freeze, but still a good shot there from Regsha.
Nero Gutta.
Yeah, so looking at the format of this, Logan, do you think the format is right for this game yet, the mixed double? Because it is a relatively new discipline to the curling world.
Well, I had a couple of chats with various people out in Beijing. I'm not going to name any names and drop them in it, but we were kind of discussing it. I feel it's got the makings of a good idea. Maybe it just needs a few kind of refinements to make it as good as it can be. A couple of suggestions were maybe to get rid of the need to always have a skip at the other end of the ice. Maybe just have a thrower and a sweeper. So there's a little bit more communication, a little bit more kind of noise and atmosphere. I mean, it's always it's almost eerie in the rink at times because there's not that roar that you're accustomed to with the shouting, and yeah, it's just it's a little bit of a strange atmosphere. So I mean, maybe that would promote a little bit more discussion, a little bit more noise and atmosphere. Other ideas were, well, there's a little bit of discussion over whether the stone in the house was placed in the right position. Maybe putting it in front of the tee line might promote a little bit more aggressive curling rather than. And the problem with it being back of the tee line is that it can completely nullify the advantage of the last stone. So if you put it at the top of the button, then maybe you still have a little bit more advantage. I don't know. These are all just kind of ideas that were being thrown around. I don't know exactly what the answer is.
I was out in Beijing myself at the Worlds, and a couple of suggestions that I heard was actually having neutral stones. So not anybody's colour of stones, maybe just a black handle. So they could be used as a neutral stone.
I think it's certainly been a welcome addition over the last 5 years. I don't think we've really seen the full of what this game has. World Championships is still very much in its infancy, and a lot of the best players in the world are still focusing on the traditional format. Let's see a bit of a disaster there for the Swedes. Latvia still line 2 on the button here and behind the centre. Drives the guard straight back and chips the 2 yellows off. Didn't want to move that top yellow. Yeah, I think I think if well, I know that the format is being recommended to the International Olympic Committee as an Olympic discipline going forward by the World Curling Federation. So I think if that's accepted going into the next 4-year cycle, then you may well see a lot more of the world's best taking the format seriously and seeing it as an opportunity to get to the big show. Could be a good discipline for you, Kenny, because you don't have to do any sweeping. You could just get your partner to do it all.
Yeah, it's possible, yeah. You've got to be able to play a little bit though, Logan.
Oh, maybe you can just position the stationary stones then.
Yeah, so we're getting to the business end of the second end, and Latvia looking good now. Sitting 2 in the 1 foot.
Spela så här med lite fart nu. Ingenting. Ja, det är bra Camilla. Nu ligger på åken. Jag är inte riktigt säker.
Well, Latvia are in good shape here. Doesn't quite hit that one thin enough to make a double, and Latvia's still lying 2. And if I was the Latvians at the moment, I'd be a little bit worried about that Yellowstone just played by Camilla Johansson. Just at the top of the button, I think the Latvians are looking at the wrong side of the sheet here.
Is there maybe a gap to come through in between the 2 yellows? Just at bat ring weight.
Well, maybe Kenny, but if you disturb either of the guards, then you could well set up an opportunity. Looks like they're going for a takeout on the Yellowstone on the other.
Oh, that's opened it up now. Really couldn't afford to catch that one. So they're just looking to see if they're at setting 2, or is it just the single?
Yeah, it's opened up the in-turn draw here for Parnoren. Can he get down on top of that red stone and get close enough to only lose, or to lie second shot? That's the question here.
As we've seen this week so far, I think the ice is swinging hard enough. If you just maybe play a quiet back 4 weight, you could probably bump that back. You can certainly get to the nose of it.
Now these soft weight shots so much more difficult in the mixed doubles. That's Mikael Andersson, the Swedish coach, watching Parnoren.
Börjar bli bra nu. Ja.
Yeah, so did get to the nose of the red at draw weight. Just tapped it back though.
It's difficult to say, Kenny, but I'm going to lean towards it still being 2 Latvian stones closest to the middle.
Bet tad mēs šito izbīdam.
Tad met vienkārši bortā.
Es saku sarkans.
Ko darīs?
Platāk.
So they're just going to throw a guard on this, do you think, Logan?
I've no idea what they're trying here, Kenny. It looks almost to me like they should just be throwing this stone away. And that's confirmed. So, in the brush.
Yes.
Or how intensely they were holding the brush for a throw through. So, Regza just throws that one to the boards.
Maybe
and
this. Okay, yeah, one.
getting rid of one of them, so it's definitely going to be one red, and it looks like there's going to be a measure for 2, indicated by the brush lying across the rings. Well, the stones are cleared away. They'll start to prepare for the next end, and they'll bring out an umpire to put the stick on these 2 stones on the button. I always think it's sometimes a little bit harder to decide who's shot when the stones are closer to the button.
Yeah, it's the camera angle we have isn't right over the top of the house, so it does distort the view ever so slightly.
Between 4 metri šī do. Vai krita. Metam. Jā.
10 tādas.
Jā.
So, umpire just using the measure to see who is shot stone. And it looks like the yellow. And it is. Leaves the yellow in the house.
Red.
So after 2 ends, it's Sweden leading 3-1.
They have time.
Desmit.
Jā.
So underway in the 3rd end.
Yep.
Latvia trailing Sweden.
Skaties, līnijai, līnijai uzvers, līnijai, līnijai, līnijai,
Spēkam!
līdz galam, līdz galam, līdz galam, vēl, 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 vēl.
And that one catches the centre guard. Doesn't move it too far off the centre though.
And sees Raja playing 55% for the first 2 ends.
So there's the tournament accuracy for Per Noren. 70%. Looks pretty good.
Yep.
Something you do see in the mixed doubles game, the percentage is a little lower than the conventional 4-player lineup.
Bra där.
Obviously no sweepers to perfect the shot.
Yeah, there's no question. It gives the players a lot more margin when it actually comes to making a good shot. Well, this outturn draw available here for Dasha Regja, playing 57% for the tournament.
Sarmai! Yep! Yes.
Not looking too far away. Can the Regjas drag this one down there?
Labi, malacis.
Jag vill ha spelaren här så här, ja. Normal.
Yeah, so that yellow stone, the predetermined stone, is still sitting short.
Camilla Johansson, playing 70% for the tournament. 73% for the tournament, actually.
So there's no centre guard now. And what I might be tempted to call here is a call on another centre guard. Let's see what Sweden would do. Would they attempt to come around it, or would they just peel it off?
Well, the value in that is that you maybe keep Sweden outside the rings a little bit longer. They have got the last stone advantage. If you don't get this freeze quite right, then you might see a couple of reds disappear from the house. It's going back to this kind of idea around the mixed doubles game, Kenny, that you really want to call the easiest shots possible. So maybe a guard might be a better option, but they can always err on the short side as long as they get the line right. And that's kind of curled off into no man's land.
Bara dit!
Ja.
Camilla Johansson putting a lot of rotation on this out-turn draw. We've seen it really curling a lot on this side, and Camilla really too interested in this stone, but it's coming down nicely. Well, just a pound too much weight, but good enough to allow Sweden to lie to.
Nē, -2, ko tu jokojies? Vai nu šī uzbraucam bišķiņ, vai šito paspiežam uz priekšu? Mājas spēku, ja?
Jā.
Mājas spēku tikai.
Yeah, I think I might actually be tempted to throw the slash. Yeah. On the back yellows.
You know what, Kenny, it wouldn't even be a bad thing if they didn't move the stone at the back of the button. Even if they just removed that exposed yellow and run their shooter away, that would put them in a pretty good spot, the Latvians. 2 stones to come for each team.
Nē, tikai piebrauk klāt.
Spēkam nē!
Nāc!
Spēkam nē!
Jop! Stop!
And I've actually split the red off the top of the button. So it looks like possibly Sweden are sitting 2 now.
Yeah, again, just trying to call 2 difficult shots. That really close to being a good shot there, and it's just giving Sweden a beautiful big pocket to draw into.
Lite längre ut ändå här.
Okej.
Aldrig röra.
Even if they were short with this one, Logan. And that does leave another pocket. Really needed to be on the inside.
Kommer ut lite längre på den där.
So would you be tempted to play any weight at this, or would you just be playing the draw?
No, I think it's just a cold draw, isn't it, Kenny? Just throw one down onto the pin, you've got that backing, but well, you know what, you could have hit just between these two yellows and possibly lie two, but I think the draw is probably the better shot here.
Possibly a triple, but I think the way you would hit it, you would go out the side of the left-hand side of the house.
Stipro tu var noturēt. Stipro pat šitam, ja trāp, tas nekas.
Šitam var trāpīt.
He's looking at maybe playing the run-through quadruple.
Yeah.
I love a quad.
And that's what he's going for, I think. Catch as much as you can see the top yellow, just feather it.
Well, he's coming down for another look at it. I think the sensible call here would just be to come down and play a draw, and even just err slightly on the heavy side and just tap. Still going to leave a tough shot.
Baigi sāk krist pie koga, uzmanies.
Yeah, so he's just going to come down and try and draw in there. Yeah.
But again, Kenny, it's this is probably the right call in a normal game of curling. But is it the right call in this? We're not quite sure. But if you throw a heavyweight takeout up the centre line, then sweeping isn't going to make that much difference. So this really needs a lot of accuracy to get both the weight and the line right to navigate between these two yellow stones at the top of the forefoot. Definitely the shot with the most reward, but a lot of risk here for Latvia.
This one's looking high for line. Got a lot of curling to do. And looking at that angle, it might only be one, but there could be half stone for maybe 5. I think it's worth a go. Logan, would you be agreeing with me?
Okay.
I don't see too much can go wrong as long as you hit the inside of that yellow on the left of the button. You'd have to think yourself extremely unlucky if you ricocheted onto that yellow stone in the back of the button and spun up past the red to give up a steal of 1. Not sure you can get 5 out of it, but I think you would lose that one at the back of the forefoot, but you can certainly score 3 or 4.
Jag ville bara dra och försöka dra hit för 3. För jag tycker att den där är bättre än den.
Ja, men där då. Det är lite lurigt om man kommer med dragningen så här. Det är alltså 5.
Or do you just go straight for the thin double off the top red on the left?
That was a much more difficult shot. And probably with less reward as well. I would say you can maybe only score 3 off that. If they're already aligned 2, I'm quite happy to see them just throw the draw. There's not any risk in playing it. I would definitely be tempted to have a go at that yellow just to the right of the centre line as they're looking at and make the double on the 2 wide reds.
Yeah, so this will be the final stone of the third end.
I'm just kind of hanging back and trying to get a feel for the path of the stone here. Perhaps a bit heavy and wide.
I think so, Logan.
Well, that won't come down far enough. Now, how many is it?
Are we going to see the measure again?
Well, it's definitely going to be 1 yellow. Well, I think Ansi's just indicating that it is actually 2. And it's been a great start for Sweden. Another 2 on the board here in N3. And It's Sweden 5, Latvia 1.
Det är dum som inte minskar mer. Lite, det ser ut som att minska så här och spela på så.
Okej.
So there we see the umpire just placing the predetermined stones as we spoke about, Logan.
Peter Allen, his name is. Precisely done.
Vill du gå den sidan?
Yeah, and actually in one of the games yesterday, China against USA, the players were quite happy to do it just to keep the game moving and get on with things. It doesn't seem to be a requirement that the officials put the stones out.
Yeah, I think that's part of the game of mixed double. It's fairly and the standard conventional game that we all know and love.
I don't know if some of the husband and wife combinations out there would feel like it's a more relaxed format of curling, Kenny.
Yeah, you do find that it's generally couples who take in.
Dito pa, Ben. Manarili, niega,
Manne!
So
Bez ganam, bez ganam.
what has Ansis done with this one? He just threw a little bit too much weight and it slipped past a lot. And I think Sweden will be right round in on top of this.
I can tell you, Kenny, from playing a bit of mixed doubles curling, that making a mistake like that with the first stone at the end when you're playing that position is nothing more frustrating, because you have to wait for the next 3 stones to then be able to throw another one, and you've no idea what you're going to be facing by that point. And you know you've not helped your team in the slightest for this 4th end. So it just shows how important the first stone at the end is for both teams, especially for the team without the hammer. If you have someone who can really nail that beat, what an advantage it gives you. And Parnaren playing an absolute beauty here in this 4th end to get us underway.
And this one looking pretty good as well, Logan. They've liked that right here on top. I thought they could have maybe swept it.
Jag vill gärna gå lite för fort, men...
Well, I think normally I would say yes, but again, the Latvians can't play a takeout with this stone, so they are in a lot of trouble. Oh, no, sorry, they threw one through the back. I forgot about that one. They can play a takeout with this one.
Yeah, I think they're just going to run the guard back, is that right? Or are they going to split the guard off? Yeah, they're just going to run it back.
Yep, yep, yep! Yep!
How does this one look? Just a little bit high. I'd have liked to just get that top yellow off, but you can't really risk hitting on the nose and leaving 3 in behind the centre guard. Oh, I think we're just going to see Sweden continue to pile stones around the centre here. Even some sort of a guard would be fine here. One of the big advantages that the more experienced teams have is just their curling IQ, their knowledge of stone positioning and knowing where to miss the shots. A quality lineup like the Swedish guys here, you're not going to see them miss. They'll definitely err on the light side on this one.
Yeah, we'll get past the guard.
Oh, another lovely stone here. Takes away that run back for the Latvians.
Tieši tādu pašu metienu. Stop. Yep.
Well, tries to run back and gets lots of stones moving. Super shot there by Dasha Regja. May not look too pretty being lying 3 against, but I can tell you that's a much improved scenario to before.
Yeah, the problem is though, Logan, these stones are spread out. There's no real easy double.
Jättetyngre här kanske.
I'm not sure I'd be too happy with that situation.
Var med.
Hake!
Bara rent. Bara rent. Bara stanna. Bara stanna. Studsa lite in där om du går. Kom igen, kom igen.
So Camilla Johansson just gonna try and block the hole and covers that one
Uzreiz uz to.
on the button.
Mājas beigas tāds, jā?
Jā.
Jeb māja.
Jā.
Well, it looks like the Latvians are they're just going to play for an out-turn tap here with Dasha Regja's final stone of this 4th end.
Yep, yep. Ja. Stop. Stop.
Spēkam!
It's actually a good effort. Right down into the button area. Oh, right through that port. They came through between the yellow and the centre line and the red, just top of the 12 foot. See how much colour there was. And I don't think guard on that side is the call. I think you could probably come down on the inter on the right hand side of the sheet and tap that red through.
Well, there's definitely 2 options. You can't. I don't think you can afford that short run on the stone that Latvia just played. I think this is definitely the easier of the 2 shots. I'm not sure that they're playing on the right handle. You could make that tap that you're talking about, Kenny, and I think normally it probably is the right shot, but maybe without the sweeping power, then this could be the easier one. And I don't mind the other side of the ice at the moment because I don't think Latvia have a shot really to score down there. So maybe I think this is the easier shot. I'm quite.
Ja, men det är nästan bra då i så fall. Titta. Oj.
Nu izsitīsim savu, nekas tāpat
Ja, jag vill inte förlänga banan på den eftersom man var på väg att kalla över.
Yeah, so
4, 3.
they're actually looking at playing a raise.
Labāk drusku te nekā pieder, domāju, ne?
Try and drive this red back into the pocket. You can catch it a couple of ways. You could take it off your own red.
Well, this is the shot that Parnaren was trying to cover. You see, just over curled, and maybe if he played it on the in-turn, then it might have been less likely to happen. The problem with the tap on the in-turn for Parnaren was that he could just make that shot a little bit easier if he didn't manage to push the red stone far enough. So it's a tough shot, but it is a chance here with this final stone of the fourth end. And see Sregsha. The chance to put the first multiple score of the game on the board. Well, let's see how. Oh, this one's all over the guard. It's going to be another for Sweden. And at halftime, the undefeated Sweden looking very good, leading Latvia by 6 shots to 1. Well, the teams get a little halftime break here, but stay tuned for our first half highlights, and then we'll get the second half underway shortly.
So highlights from the game between Sweden and Latvia. First end, Per Noren for Sweden, trying to draw for 4, but this one was just a little bit heavy, but it was a great start. Sweden picking up 3 in the first end. Second end, Per Noren just comes down and tries to tap the red back. But after the measure, it was confirmed it was only 1 shot to Latvia. 3-1. and into. And Sweden again looking very, very good. Perner in, trying to play a draw. Just played it a little heavy so it didn't curl. And it was a score of 2, 5-1. And into the end before the break with the upper hand. And Ansis Regza tried to play the raise, was nowhere near, and another steal. So 6-1 after 4 ends. Elsewhere, Canada are leading Estonia 5-3, and the USA are 4-0 up on Ireland.
Yep.
Poland are trailing 8-0 to the Czech Republic, yet to get on the board. And Scotland are 7-2 up against Slovakia.
Ja, jag vet. Ja, men alltså det ser ut som att han ska gå så här långt ifrån.
Slovenia.
Apologies.
Well, here's Ansis Regza, the male player for Latvia. Latvia with a lot of work to do here in the second half, isn't it, Kenny?
Yeah, as Sweden have really just capitalised on Latvia, just not quite getting the stones exactly where they need them. But this is a better start for Latvia. Got a couple in the 1 foot area now. And Sweden will just have to play the draw in. As we've said before, can't play a takeout until after the 4th stone.
Camilla Johansson throwing the middle stones of the end for Sweden. Their line up too much.
Så här risker vilken fart man har i på den sidan.
Spax, my space!
De går för bra de. Bra.
My space, Bajax!
Well, actually quite a good shot there from Camilla Johansson. Pushes one of those red stones off the button and leaving the yellow stones in front of the tee line in a usable position. A nice spot just to raise them up at some point. Here's Tatcha Regza.
Stop, stop, stop.
Nice, Vegas.
Tasha has also been throwing the
Stop.
middle 3 stones for Latvia all game.
Stop.
Oh, she's played a good one here. Really nice shot by the Latvian. And
Just nice weight control. I think there was Logan. It was just enough to spread things around, push everything back tee.
oh, and this is where it gets interesting. We have the Swedish team leading by 5 shots, and they can now start to play takeouts. But choosing to go after the shot stones, they could well peel the guard or run the guard back here, and it would be difficult to see how Latvia wouldn't leave Sweden a double takeout at some point.
Yep.
But choosing to go with the aggressive option.
Yep, 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 yep. Get it! Get it! Get it! Ja, jättebra.
Yeah, so although Latvia sitting one, I Be a little nervous of these yellow stones beginning to build up.
Yeah, Camilla Johansson's really on her game today. Played another super tap there on the end turn.
Labi. Studente. Manne.
Pārstipras.
Kas?
Pārstipras.
Nāc.
Bumbītājs.
Jep.
Bumbītājs.
So, again,
Es taču tev teicu.
just a slight mistake
Labi tikai, nu neuztraucies.
from Dacia Regza, tapping
Nāc.
her own red stone to the back of the 4.
Tā jau.
Okay.
So, do you think Sweden will play the takeout
Spela
in this
så
red,
här och
Logan?
så spelar vi på lite.
Oh, absolutely. They're 5 shots ahead. Got a chance to lie 3, maybe 4. Get rid of some red stones. Why not? Camilla Johansson making everything today.
Japp. Japp. Ren. Japp. Japp.
And doesn't manage to roll in,
Har vi inte så mycket
but doesn't really leave any backing at all.
Mājas beigas.
Nē, hak. Tāda 3, 3, 2,
No,
3,
still,
3,
but that
tāda.
stone at the top of the forfeit and behind the centre guard in a
Three,
terrific
three,
position
three.
for the Swedes. It's going to really make things difficult for the Latvians to score more than 1. It really makes the scoring area a lot smaller, that stone.
Are they trying to tap the yellow top of the 4-foot just back at tee?
I think that would be the sensible call. That's definitely the stone that's hurting Latvia at the moment, not the one next to Ansis Regza's brush. The one on the tee line. Tough shot. And a good attempt there by Regza, but that red stone going to be wide open for the Swedes.
Yeah, so should be able to make a nice hitting check-in. Won't be worried about moving the reds at the back. Noreen for Sweden.
Nej! Japp!
Just going to roll too far.
Oh, that's just a fraction away from being perfect. That was a big way to take out. And just a millimetre closer to the nose and now doing a perfect roll. Well, all the Latvians can really do is play a tap back for 1, or even just the straight drop. Certainly can't afford to give up any sort of a steal here though.
So, just trying to come down onto this back yellow. Ansis Regza.
Well, these shots aren't a gimme in mixed doubles curling.
And he's certainly
Stop.
played it with enough weight.
Mills.
Sounded a bit panicky, but a good result. A really nice shot there by Hansi Stregshot with the final stone in the end, saving the date for Latvia and putting a score on the board. Now trailing Sweden by 6 ends, 6 shots to 2 with just 3 ends to go.
Yeah, Sweden still controlling things, always having the upper hand.
I'll just, while they're setting things up, a quick update on scores elsewhere. Canada leading Estonia by 7 shots to 3 after 5 ends. USA leading Ireland by 6 shots to 0. Of course, our featured game on sheet C, 6-2 for Sweden. Scotland stealing 1 in the 5th end to lead Slovenia by 8 shots to 2. And Czech Republic are beating Poland by how much I can't quite see. I think it's 6 shots to 0. 8 shots to 0, I'm told. But back in our featured game, here's Ansis Reja. Gonna try and make this freeze that's really eluded him so far in this game. Such a crucial shot in the end, the first one.
Yeah, certainly has upped his game for the second half. Maybe just got a hold of the ice at the 4th end break. So yeah, come round the guard, just gonna catch it. Actually not that bad a shot, because it's Sweden who do have last stone.
Yeah, and the great thing for them as well is that there's no stone at the back of the button now either, so that's almost I would say almost a better shot than the nominated one. It's just the way it works out sometimes. Well, one thing's for sure, Latvia do need some sort of cover to hide behind if they want to steal, and steal they need to do. You see they're trailing by 6 shots to 2.
Is this one going to make it over?
Well, it certainly is. It's going to be a very long guard though. Now, will Sweden choose to play in the house or play on the long guard? Well, it looks like they're going after the one in the house. Probably thinking they're not going to get a better opportunity with that guard being so long.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, again, Camilla Johansson pulling out another beauty, getting the backing away as well.
Yeah,
she really has been formidable this afternoon.
Yeah. Really nice takeout. And rolls away from the centre as well. So would you be tempted to throw another guard, Logan?
Yeah, I think they need to, Kenny. I think they need to throw a tight guard. That one that's up there at the moment. The only thing it's going to protect is a short guard. Sorry, a tight guard. So they throw one round there, then hopefully the Swedes will peel the long one, and then you can put a better one around in 2 shots time. That would be the plan.
Dziļāk.
Atsvīd.
Aiziet! Aiziet! Aiziet!
It looks like they're actually going for the draw, and I think they've
Labi, tāds.
curled right out the other side. They'll be able to see that stone on the out turn.
Yeah, I think they'll just try and clean pick this one, Logan. They'll not try and get fancy at all.
Oh, but if you end up with another one on the wing, it's not a big deal. It's but I agree that the priority is just to get rid of that red stone. They don't really need to build things up. Looked like she was sliding a little bit narrow there, Camilla.
A bit of panic from Per. And does enough though.
Yeah, and actually a good shot. Makes the scoring area a little bit bigger.
Ja.
Šitē. Ir ļoti labs. Nē, man nē. Nāc, vajadzēs bērt.
So this one trying to come down and get in behind the yellow. I'm not surprised didn't sweep that.
It looked like a golden opportunity to get something down towards the back of the forefoot and behind that yellow, and it just bounced off. So they are in behind the long guard at least. I've already seen Camilla Janssen make a lovely takeout around it.
Yeah, I think they'll just decide. You always make sure you're tight, so you peel the guard if anything. Yep, is the yellow going to stay? It's not.
Ja. Jag tyckte jag kändes mjuk.
So if you're Lavia, do you play the double in the yellows, or do you try and get a steal here, Logan?
Well, they're not really in a great position to kind of force the issue a little bit. Could try and draw one right around there where Ansis is indicating, or play the double. I think they're going to be struggling with both, to be honest. Even if they do make a really nice draw, then it's just going to be a short run for Pernaren. And the stats, they're indicating that it's really a landslide. Johansson and Naren playing in the low 80s, which is just super play in mixed doubles against the regulars. Very much the stats reflecting the scoreboard. Well, it looks like they are going for the more aggressive option, Kenny. Clearly feeling that giving up one's not an option. They need to try and steal here in this sixth end.
Yeah, I think with this being the sixth end, I think that's why you'd go after this. It's all about the weight. The line looks pretty big.
Well, it's looking a little bit speedy as well, and Pernaren is going to usher this one right through the house.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a free draw for 3.
Jaha. Ja, då får du komma in hur långt du vill då.
So don't expect he'll be too far away with this.
No, he's just got to hit the 12-foot circle here. That'll be enough to put 3 on the board. And we may well see handshakes after this, Kenny.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Well, definitely one of the easier shots we've seen in par. I've got no reason to think they won't make this one.
Yeah, he just needs to hit the paint. And just keeping it clean. Yeah, that one's going to pull up. And it will be a score of 3. And yes, as you said, Logan, there is the handshake. And another win for Sweden. They go on to 5 wins now. Yet to be defeated here at the championship. So there we see final score 9-2 after 6 ends. Well, Sweden delighted with their performance elsewhere. Ireland still trail the USA 6-0. Canada lead Estonia 7-3. Poland managed to get a point in the 5th end. They trail 8-1 over Czech Republic. And Scotland 12-2 winners over Slovenia. So first end in the matchup between Sweden and Latvia. Per Noren for Sweden. This one was just a little heavy and slips to the back of the 8-foot. But a score of 3 and a great start for Sweden. The second end, Per Noren having to play a defensive tap, trying to just cut Latvia down. Just does enough. And these stones were measured, and it was only a single point for Latvia. They trailed 3-1 as they headed into the third, dominating that 4-foot area. Per Noren trying to draw for 3, it just didn't curl enough. And it's only a score of 2, 5-1 after 3. This was Ansis Regza trying to pop red there. That one over curled, catches the yellow guard. And it was a steal of 1, 6-1 after 4 ends. 5th end. Once again, Ansis Regza facing a lot of Swedish counters. But this time, he was successful with his draw. 6-2. 6th end, Per Noren with an open house, just needed to hit the paint. This one pulls up back of the 4-foot, and Latvia said enough is enough, and it was a 9-2 win for Sweden. So we'll get the post-game interviews with Sweden and let's see how they feel after another win.
Per and Camilla, congratulations. How did you feel about the performance today?
Today this feel perfect for us. My playing today is being a little higher, and after the yesterday, I think I was a little nervous. Today I think it's more comfortable with the playing.
Was there anything in particular that allowed you to perform as well as you did?
The lane changes, I think, and it's been more difficult. I don't know what I should say, but it's a lane being more difficult. You longer you play at it. It's curl more and more, and I don't know.
And Camilla, obviously getting close to the playoffs. Are you feeling confident, obviously?
Yes, I think we played well, and we have a little more to give in the games, but we're in the right direction, I think.
Thanks for your time, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, thanks.